Jeffrey Epstein's list to be named Pubicly 2024. A list of names connected to late financier and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein is set to be released to the public, bringing renewed attention to a sex trafficking operation that has captured international headlines for years. A United Sta judge authorized the unsealing of court documents last month as part of a 2015 defamation lawsuit brought by Virginia Giuffre, who accused Epstein and his associate Ghislaine Maxwell of trafficking her as a minor. The documents are set to reveal more than 150 names of people linked to Epstein, who died by suicide in a U.S. prison in 2019 while awaiting trial on sex trafficking and other charges. They include individuals accused of wrongdoing, as well as those who worked for or had only tangential ties to Epstein. Among the names are also alleged sex trafficking victims and witnesses to crimes, U.S. media outlets have reported. Here's all you need to know about the list of names and what its implications are. Where do the names come from? The names appear in court documents from the 2015 defamation lawsuit Giuffre filed against Maxwell, a British socialite who was later sentenced to 20 years in prison on charges related to sex trafficking. Giuffre had accused Maxwell of facilitating her sexual abuse at the hands of Epstein and other powerful men. When Maxwell called those accusations obvious lies, Giuffre responded with a defamation suit. The case was ultimately settled in 2017. As part of the court's findings, a judge wrote that Giuffre was a victim of sustained underage sexual abuse between 1999 and 2002. But the documents used in the case continued to provoke interest well after the suit ended. In 2018, the Miami Herald started legal proceedings to get access to the documents. Thousands of pages have been released on a rolling basis since then, according to the Herald, as part of a process to determine which files could be made public. Many of the names in the documents have been redacted, though, but on December 18, the U.S. District Court judge overseeing the case, Loretta Preska, decided some of the names could be unsealed as well. She gave anyone affected until midnight on January 1 to file an objection, which means the files could be released as early as Tuesday. How did the judge decide which names could be made public? Preska argued in her decision that many of the names had already been revealed through court testimony or depositions, as well as in media reports. Up to the present, certain individuals have been referred to as John or Jane Doe in court documents. Some names will remain sealed, however, because the individuals were minors when the alleged sexual abuse occurred, and they have not spoken publicly. The public interest does not outweigh the privacy interests of the alleged minor victim, Preska wrote. But concerns remain over how the public may react to any newly released names. The documents themselves may not make clear why a certain individual became associated with Giuffre's lawsuit, ABC News reported. That said, the new revelations will likely help illustrate the scale of Epstein's alleged sex trafficking ring and his influence among powerful members of society. Epstein died by suicide before he could face sex trafficking charges in court. Will prominent names be included? The United Kingdom's Prince Andrew is expected to be named in the documents. Giuffre accused the British royal of forcing her to have sex with him 2 decades ago, when she was 17, an allegation Prince Andrew has vehemently denied. The case was settled in 2022. According to ABC News, the unsealed court documents are expected to contain details from a witness, identified as Jane Doe 162, who testified she was with Prince Andrew, Maxwell, and Giuffre, then 17, at Epstein's New York mansion. Giuffre has alleged that gathering in 2001 was one of the occasions she was directed to have sex with Andrew, the news outlet reported. Former U.S. President Bill Clinton is also expected to be named in the released documents, though he was not accused of any wrongdoing by Giuffre. She had said she met Clinton on Epstein's private island in the Caribbean, U.S. media outlets have reported. When U.S. prosecutors filed sex trafficking and conspiracy charges against Epstein in 2019, the ex-president's spokesman, Angel Urena, said Clinton knows nothing about the terrible crimes the disgraced financier had been accused of. In 2002 and 2003, President Clinton took a total of 4 trips on Jeffrey Epstein's airplane, 1 to Europe, 1 to Asia, and 2 to Africa, which included stops in connection with the work of the Clinton Foundation, Urena said. He's not spoken to Epstein in well over a decade and has never been to Little Street James Island, Epstein's ranch in New Mexico, or his residence in Florida. ABC News reported that Clinton's name appears more than 50 times in the court filings, but mentions of the former president are often related to efforts to subpoena him, for deposition testimony about his relationship with Epstein. VIP connections. Appearing in court documents is by no means a sign of wrongdoing, but given the severity of the charges against Epstein and Maxwell, their former associates have been eager to distance themselves and denounce the alleged crimes. Former presidents Bill Clinton and Donald Trump are known to have had connections with Epstein, a multimillionaire investor and consultant, though neither has been accused of wrongdoing related to those ties. A spokesman for Clinton confirmed in 2019 that the former president had flown on Epstein's private plane, but said Clinton knew nothing of the financier's terrible crimes. Trump has told reporters that he banned Epstein from his Mar-a-Lago estate, but has not publicly explained why their friendship ended. Microsoft founder Bill Gates, who met with Epstein several times beginning in 2011, according to the New York Times, has said in interviews that he regrets having had dinners with Epstein to discuss philanthropy efforts. Gates has not been accused of any wrongdoing. In 2022, Britain's Prince Andrew reached an undisclosed settlement with Virginia Giuffre, who accused him of forcing her to perform sex acts when she was underage. Andrew, the Duke of York, denied the allegations, but he was stripped of his military titles and can no longer use his Royal Highness in any official capacity. Leon Black, co-founder of private equity company Apollo Global Management, has denied allegations in court documents of raping underage girls at Epstein's New York home. A 2021 independent investigation into Black commissioned by Apollo found no evidence that Black was involved in Epstein's criminal activities, but it did find that Black's payments to Epstein for consulting and other services totaled $158 million between 2012 and 2017. One of the 3 lawsuits against Black was thrown out. In March 2021, Black said he would step down from the firm he managed amid scrutiny over his ties to Epstein. In a 2020 letter to Apollo shareholders, Black said he regretted his association with Epstein and that their relationship involved only professional services, including estate planning, tax and philanthropic endeavors. Jess Staley, a former JP Morgan Chase executive who became the head of Barclays Bank, was largely responsible for the U.S. bank's 15-year financial relationship with Epstein. In March, JP Morgan sued Staley over the relationship. Staley allegedly exchanged sexually suggestive emails with Epstein, some of which included photos of young women, according to a federal lawsuit brought by the U.S. Virgin Islands, which was eventually settled. In October, Staley was banned from holding senior roles in the UK financial services industry for misleading regulators about his relationship with Epstein. Staley has denied wrongdoing. "If I had known who Epstein really was, there is absolutely no doubt that I wouldn't be in the position I am in today," Staley said in a statement shared with CNN at the time. How important is the release? Ricky Kleeman, a legal analyst with CBS News, said this week that it's highly significant for documents to be unsealed so that the complete story of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell can be made public. "We need to know, as members of the public who have an interest in keeping women and young girls, children, safe from predators," Kleeman said. Giuffre also commented on the release last month over social media, describing Judge Prescott as honorable for her decision to make the names public and ensure transparency. She added there were going to be a lot of nervous people over Christmas and New Year's. So guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. For more interesting content, give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. For more awesome content, have a nice day and I will see you in the next video.